Magida.
Hello,
One of
hello.
I know one of our newest Sage guys at the nOMad Collective, and it's been such a beautiful journey just the last couple of months getting to know you.
Mm-hmm.
I know a little bit about, what you're doing in the world and how you ended up. We're kind of neighbors right now. You came from the other side of the world, being in Australia, but here you are, just like an hour or so away from me in New York. But
Yes.
I just love to like introduce you to the world here, share a little bit about who you are and what you're offering to
Mm.
start.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me. Yes, what a journey coming across the country and then landing here and finding you. And yeah, so close. All divine, all divine. Um, I just had a dream to get over to this side of the world and run my retreats here and introduce this side of the world to the attuned woman and the attuned woman movement,
Mm,
which is all about coming back home and rebalancing our masculine and feminine, uh, the way that women have been pulled into the workforce these days. We've just been catapulted into our masculine for too much of the time.
hmm
And yeah, I've got the story and, the all come crashing down, how it all came crashing down when I was in the corporate world, and just operating way too much in my masculine. And then how I turn things around and now have a better balance and now teach all of this beautiful work to women leaders and women in the corporate world, who just, you feel like something's off.
hmm
And you're like, is this really how we're meant to be in the world?
hmm
No, we're not. And the workforce was not built with us in mind. It was built, you know, for men because that's who was in the workforce when it started. The typical 9 to 5 was built on sunrise and sunset, which that is the male hormonal cycle. But
Mm,
what's the female hormonal cycle? It's not
hmm
that, is it?
hmm
Yeah. So we need to, I guess, I say that it's like a reclamation, right? We really need to reclaim ourselves and our natural rhythm and find a way to rebalance and make it fit in this world that we're in now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you were just speaking at our Passport Ready event last month, and you were speaking about this cycle. I want to talk a lot more about that and what you think it could look like.
Hmm.
And I also just love how I might say it the wrong way, but you were saying like, I'm, did you say you were a feminist or you're not a feminist? But
Yeah, I'm not
like the
I'm
way,
not a
yeah,
feminist.
yeah. Like you were
Yeah.
saying, I think you might think that I'm a feminist, but I'm
Yeah,
not. And I
not.
loved it because it's
Mm.
exactly what I have felt, but I've never spoken to. So I'd love to hear more about what that means.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. It's so funny because yes, most people they'll look at my page or my profile
Yeah.
and
Yes.
um I've even had some men like commenting on my posts and like poo-pooing me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, guys, I'm on your side. Like, and then I have to kind of explain it. So yeah, I'm not a feminist. And while I do agree with some of the principles of feminism, and I'm glad that the feminist movement happened because it was one extreme,
Yeah.
right? But now we've fully swung to the other extreme, and both sides are completely imbalanced.
Yep.
So yeah, now we need to come back into the balance and recognize the difference between feminine and masculine energy and how to work with it within our body, and recognizing that we have female hormones that are different to male hormones. And I know this opens up the whole gender thing, but we're just not going to go there because I don't, I don't have, I just work on biology. So you can call yourself whatever you want. You can be, you know, a fairy unicorn if you like. Um, but I'm just going to want to know what hormones do you have running through your body? What are your natural
Yeah.
hormones? And then I will be encouraging you to adjust your life according to that.
Hmm.
Um, and that's not necessarily an easy ask for some people who are in Manhattan's, in the corporate grind. What do we do about all of these women stuck in those kinds of workplaces? It's a big ask. That's why it's called the Attuned Woman Movement, because we
Hmm.
do need a movement of women who are in those roles who are going to, like the feminists, step up and be advocates for change.
Yeah. What
Mm.
does that look like? Like, what does the attune women, like the
Mhm.
ideal situation look like in a 9 to 5 kind of environment, corporate environment? What if you had your way?
Yeah. Yes. I talk about the water cooler example where, people stand around the water cooler, talking, and you can walk in that day and go, oh, I just started bleeding, so I'm going to go home now. Or I just started bleeding, so my workload is going to be half for the next 3 days.
Hmm.
And that's normalized. It should be very normalized that we can talk about our cycle. It's ridiculous that people still have weird responses to that. I tell
Hmm.
everyone when I'm on my bleed, so they all know, and I educate any men around me. I educate them on what's different in the different cycles and what my needs are, and all of that.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it is really finding a way to work with our cycle, which is 4 weeks, 28 days, not 24 hours, and finding a way to work with the organizations to that our tasks do change and shift depending on where we're at in our cycle. So,
Hmm.
there's a part that's again the reclamation that I'm only going to choose roles that can adapt to my cycle. I'm not going to choose a role that demands the same thing every single day of me because what if I'm having, a bad day on my cycle at that moment?
Hmm.
I've got no room to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of me choosing the right fit and also can this role be flexible and mold towards me being a female with a 28-day cycle. And then the organization really looking at it can look at an organizational level like these roles are better for the male hormonal cycle and these roles are better for the female hormonal cycle and we allocate based on that. And
Mm.
feminists will not like that one
Mm.
at all. But I don't believe in equality. I believe in balance.
Hmm.
That's, my thing around the feminism. Um, I believe, yes, equal pay for, you know, if we're doing the same role, we should of course get paid the same. There shouldn't be anything like that around. Um, but there are certain things that the male masculine is just built for.
Yeah.
Same with the feminine, female.
Yeah.
And we would actually get better results and productivity would skyrocket in companies if they actually readjusted things in that way.
Yeah, I would love to hear a little bit more, but when you were speaking, I was just thinking of, do you know how Myers-Briggs came? You know Myers-Briggs and how it came to be?
I don't
It
know
was
how it came to be,
it
but
came to be, at least this is what I heard, and
yeah.
I didn't fact checked it, but it sounds accurate. So
Yeah,
when the men went off in World War II, went off to war, and the
yeah,
women had to step in and do the men's like
yeah,
jobs,
yeah.
they basically said, we need to figure out how to organize ourselves. And so they created the system, the
Oh,
Myers-Briggs, to
right,
figure out where their strengths were and things
right.
like that. They weren't doing the cycle like you said, but
Yeah,
they were looking at what are our strengths, how do we,
yeah,
think, how do we feel, how do we communicate? And
right.
so that's where it started. It's like, oh, there
Uh-huh.
we are. We're very
Yeah,
smart. But
yeah.
so to go back to you, and what this situation would be like, could you use some examples of like what would look like, like you said, like the masculine role versus like more of that feminine
Mhm.
role in the workplace?
Yeah, I mean, we would have to dive deep into my frameworks around that,
Yeah.
but um, I would generally show the strengths and the traits of the feminine energy and the masculine energy. And then you can see from that map which roles, fit where. We
Yeah.
know the typical like male brain problem solving,
Mm-hmm.
right? We use this really high level example.
Mm-hmm.
Direction, focus, forward moving.
Mm-hmm.
And the feminine being creative, open, receptive, intuitive. So if you think about just those two high level things, what kind of roles would you put us
Mm-hmm.
in an organization? Right? But even also just it's a big ask, I keep saying, right? So this is a big ask. This is a huge change in the way that the workforce would run. But if we chunk it down to small things, we can. There are small things we can do. So you're sitting in a meeting, no matter what your role is, and you've got everyone around the table, and you're talking about an idea, and you want to get feedback from the room. I would look at the men and say, "What do you think about this, or how would you solve this problem?"
Mm-hmm.
I would look at the women and I would say, how are you feeling about this? What is your intuition telling you,
Mm-hmm.
for example?
Yeah.
Right? And that's how you get the collaboration of the whole room. And that's how you get both masculine and feminine strengths playing out. And you will get a far better result
Yeah.
from whatever you're brainstorming, no doubt. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's interesting because I feel like you're really talking about, like you said, the hormones, the biology of this. But
Mm,
I'm wondering what you feel because, and maybe I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but but for me, I'm very much intuitive. I'm very much connected to that feminine side, but I
mm,
also have a very strong masculine
mm,
side where I
mm.
love structure, I
Yes,
love systems.
yes, yes.
And I'm just curious as like if you're a female and you identify more in that, not just because I was playing that society told me to play that role, because I've
Mm,
actually never been in like a masculine dominated. I've been a
mm,
dancer and
mm.
like yoga teacher. That's very
Yeah,
much
yeah,
like on the creative side of things. But I'm just
yeah,
curious as to hear like what your take is in nurturing that within yourself, that
yeah.
masculine and that feminine
Yes,
in the
yes, that
roles you
just
play.
comes back to the balance. So you don't want to
Yeah.
be 80% in using your masculine energy and only 20% using your feminine. You want to have that healthy balance. So you look at your day. I literally structure my day that way. So my
Mm,
mornings, I'm in my feminine energy. I am doing my yoga. I'm doing my meditation.
mm.
I'm connecting, you know, with source. I'm manifesting, journaling, all of those pieces. And then I come in and I go, okay, so from, 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. till 4 p.m., I'm doing the business, the whatever. And then after that, I might go into sessions, client sessions, which is back in my feminine,
Hmm.
right? And so, yeah, it's just balancing it that way. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's interesting. I just intuitively have structured my day like that.
Yes. Good. Yes. That's what we want to
Yeah. I
see.
don't like to
Yeah.
take calls or do anything work related until 11
Right.
a.m. because
Right.
I love having that open
Yeah.
space to just do whatever it is, the
Mhm.
meditation, the
Mhm.
being in nature, the dancing,
Yeah.
journaling, feeling whatever, crying, whatever it is.
Yes. Same. 11 is,
Yeah.
yeah, is my sweet spot. And well, generally go till 4. And because I've got the Australian clients, sometimes I'll do some evening sessions, open up a couple nights a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then I'll have a 1 or 2 hour break in between and go down to the beach and
Hmm.
it's just that balance. And when I do this piece with my ladies at retreat or inside the program, um, I talked about the map that I share with them and I get them to try and allocate a percentage. What percent are you spending in your average day or average week in here and in here, in the masculine and in the feminine energy?
Hmm.
And it's a big eye opener. Most of them are 80, 90% in their masculine energy. And unfortunately, most of them are not well. It
Hmm.
flows on to our health. And
Hmm.
that's where we see the statistics like the autoimmune disorders, the fertility issues that are just through the roof, and burnout over 30 years of age generally is very prevalent these days. So we're seeing the The autoimmune disorders these days are wild. The number, the numbers out there.
Yeah. And I mean, I just came off of my own disease and with my
Mm,
cancer journey. And that
mm,
was very much what I knew was like I was in the like
mm,
pushing hustle
mm.
mode.
Wow.
And it was just, yeah, I wasn't honoring what you're saying,
Mm,
that more of
mm.
that feminine cycle.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the many layers I've unpacked it. But yeah, I can totally
Mm.
relate to it and feel
Yeah.
that.
Yes, well,
Um,
mine was I was working full time in the workforce and running my marketing consulting agency on the side. So I
wow.
was like working every day pretty much, and I was doing 15-hour days, and I just thought that was normal.
Mm,
But I grew up in the city in Melbourne,
mm-hmm,
and that's city life.
mm-hmm,
But something felt off. This is the common theme I see in the women that come to me. They're like, something feels off. And
mm-hmm.
we know, right? Our instinct, our intuition, but we keep ignoring it. And I talk about the feather, the brick, and the Mack truck.
Oh,
Mo-
what's that?
The feather, the brick, and the Mack truck moments. It's like, when you get the little tap on the shoulder, the
Mm.
feather, and you just like, oh, what's that? Just throw it away, you know? And then the brick, and you're like, oh, okay, interesting. What is that? Maybe I should take a look at that. Ah, too busy. And then the Mack truck, boom, and then hits you in the face, and
That's you.
you cannot ignore it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I had a car accident. I was rear-ended
Oh.
by a criminal in a stolen vehicle, and he was just speeding through the roads and taking out cars left, right, and center. And so
Mm,
it really was a shock to my system. And I remember crying the moment that it happened, not because I got hit or had an accident, because I knew how far out of alignment I was.
mm.
And I was like, that was the Mack truck. I've got to sit up and listen now.
Yes. Oh, I got full body chills from the getting hit by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I
Yeah.
have a similar analogy, but I use it as a little kid. Like
Yeah.
when the little kid's like, tugging at the mom's shirt, like, mom, mommy. And then it's like builds up, and then it turns into a big temper tantrum.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So you had this
Mm.
moment where the Mack truck,
Yeah.
hit you. And then what did that look like? Like, well, can you just go back a little bit of like what you were saying it didn't feel like something was
Mm.
off? Like what did that feel like in your life? Just so if somebody's out there, they
Yes.
could identify it too.
Yes. Well, it was always rushing, always going from one thing to the next
Mm,
and not really having, much spare time. But I was addicted to the busy as well. Like I loved it.
mhm,
But my health was not great either. I would always wake up every morning with a headache and just thought that that was normal.
mhm,
It's just like this buzz, this constant buzz in my body, this constant rush, this constant like I've got to achieve the next thing. And yeah, very, very much was that success driven, achieving, driving mindset. And look, success and ambition is not a dirty word, but it's how we do it.
mhm,
And what does success even mean? And why does that particular success even matter to you? A lot of the time we've lost that connection with that part of us. Like, why are we even doing this?
mhm,
Why does this matter? It was such an existential moment for me because I could have just packed up everything, gone and lived in a caravan by the river and been actually way happier than what I was running in this crazy city life. But I didn't
mhm.
even stop to think about that.
Yeah.
But the Mack
Yeah.
truck pushed me there. So
Yes, it
yeah.
did. And so what did that
Mm.
look like on the other side of it when you realized you were out of alignment? Like what shifted for you? What changes did you start to make?
So I injured my back pretty badly, so I couldn't do much. I couldn't bend over and put my shoes on properly. I couldn't cook and clean. I certainly couldn't sit at a desk for 10 hours a day anymore.
Yeah.
So overnight, I had to change my whole life and reassess everything. I ended up with a 5-year to-do list
Mm.
And just like, okay, what do I do here? And I had to drop the busy and just what's the word? Not relinquish, what's the other word? Yeah, like surrender to it all, right? And I think, yeah, I really just started to assess what was important, what did matter,
Hmm.
what did I really want in my life. And I had just started studying NLP, neuro linguistic programming and hypnotherapy, and I was loving that. And all I wanted to do was that.
Mm.
So I think the Mack truck happened because it was like, okay, you're not making the leap yourself here. Here you go. I'm going to do it for you, right?
Mhm.
And so I just would go to class and sit. I could lie in the back of the room with pillows and yoga mats and everything and do my training. So it was meant to be.
Mhm.
And yeah, that definitely changed my life. Doing that kind of work and learning NLP and the mindset that comes with it, and un un unplugging from the matrix, I think. And uh just designing a life that works for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what
Mm.
does success look like for you now?
Definitely a flexible schedule
Hmm.
that I'm not tied to anything in particular. And my clients all know that I work according to my cycle. If I have a session booked in, and it's not a good day, I can message them and reschedule. They're totally fine with that. I have a team behind me as well. So again, if because we have, a few calls a week like you do, right?
Hmm.
For the community, if it's not a great day, someone else can jump on and do the call. So we're
Hmm.
all there supporting each other.
Hmm.
And yeah, as I said, the mornings to myself in my feminine, and then the mid part of the day, working on things. Um, it's freedom, right? It's freedom,
Hmm. Mm.
freedom to
Yeah.
design your schedule on your terms.
Hmm.
Mm.
So I love that success is more about your time freedom.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's all
Yeah.
we have in this lifetime.
That is
Time
true.
is the most important currency.
It really is. It really is. I was
Yeah.
just having a conversation with somebody today about money and how we put so much we give value to it, but
Mm,
really I think it just exposes what we fear most and what we actually value most,
mm,
and on a superficial
mm,
level, right? But there's a lot more deep depth in there,
mm,
if we can look at it. But I love that you just spoke to success, that you said nothing about money, which a lot of people say that, right? Or status, right? Or this position that I achieved this,
Yeah.
position. You really
Yeah.
just spoke to the time freedom,
Mm,
which I completely resonate with too.
right. And when I break it down for the women in my community, it always comes back to that time with my family and my loved ones. That is why
Hmm.
we do all of it. That
Hmm.
is it. So why are we, running in this rat race when it's
Hmm.
it's taking away from that time with loved ones? And how can you maybe reclaim yourself, your power, your time,
Yeah.
your days, your weeks, and just find a better way that's more authentically you and more in alignment with you.
Yeah.
Mm,
What's something that you would suggest for somebody out there? Like, I mean, we just talked about the actual creating the schedule, but if is that for anybody? Is that for men and women, or is that for us women honoring our own feminine cycle? Like,
mm.
what? what's the takeaway that you could give people today about their
Mm.
finding that, establishing that time freedom?
Of course, our men need that too. We're,
Hmm.
we're all overworked. We're
Yeah.
all burning out. The men are also pushing too hard and out of alignment for them. I mean, how often are they getting into nature and, screaming and beating their chest, like, like getting
Yes.
and into the men's circles and doing the
Yeah.
men's work. Like, I could
Yeah.
go up to 1,000 men in the city in Manhattan and be like, when was the last time, you went to like around a fire with men like beating a chest? They would look at me like I'm a crazy woman. Who's this crazy Australian girl asking me these questions? But that's what they need too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about the tribal stuff. Like, I'm
Mm.
very passionate about that is really how we're meant to live and
Hmm.
re reigniting the tribal way of being. That would be my ultimate that, all the buildings and all the concrete jungles just get pulled down.
Yeah.
Right, and we go back to nature living in tribes. I mean, that is how we're meant to live. So
Hmm.
again, a big ask, but one can dream. The
Yeah.
apocalypse might come and, give it to us.
Yeah, that'll be our Mack truck.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, it's actually scary, but it's very possible with what,
Yeah.
how we are, killing the world and the earth and the environment and not respecting Mother Nature. So
Hmm.
we probably won't see it in our lifetime, but it's really not far away. But anyway, let's not go down that dark path.
We're in the space in between.
Yeah,
It can be
right.
deep and dark, but we
Yeah.
also just have fun.
Yeah. And this is why we're looking for leaders like us
Yeah.
in this world to, be those advocates for change and what can we do to reclaim ourselves and reclaim our tribal community ways.
Hmm.
It takes a village to raise a child, but how many single moms do we have out there struggling?
Yeah.
It's just all, it's just all disappeared. We really need to bring that tribal mentality back. That's a key part of it as well. Yeah. I
So,
dr yeah. I dream one day to be living, on the land like that, having a community, coming back as much to that tribal living. And how much money do you need to live like that, by the way?
right.
Right? Like
Not a lot.
not a lot. We
No.
live off the land
Yeah.
and we barter everything,
Yep.
basically nothing.
Yeah.
Except I hear the taxes are ridiculous in this state, but that's all. We won't
True,
live in
true.
New York State.
Yeah. True, true.
Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, a lot of food for thought.
for sure. For
Yeah,
sure. And can you share a little bit more about how you do work with, primarily work with women?
yeah.
What does that look like? What does that shape look like? If anyone's like, I am loving Magida and I just need to like connect with her on a deeper level, what kind of containers do you hold
Mm.
for women leaders?
Yeah, so we have the online community, which is very much, like-minded women holding each other, supporting each other. We have multiple calls a week with coaching and healings and clearings and, moving between that masculine and feminine of like
Mm,
what's some like clear strategies you need to solve problems.
hmm.
Or if there's an emotional thing, we bring in the somatic healing and clearing modalities and the NLP and hypnosis and that kind of thing. Um, and what I recognize that's quite unique about the container I've built, I didn't realize, but like the live chat feature that I have, like in Messenger and WhatsApp, where the women can go in there 24/7 any time of the day. And we have women all over the world now and be like, hey, I'm struggling with this thing. And someone will always be there to speak to her.
Hmm.
And I will often voice note back, and because I can also voice note in a hypnotic way and, help
Hmm.
like, change some help her rewire, change some mindset, like right then and there, or we'll role play, a lot of role playing like scenarios where, okay, I just got this email and, my boss said this, what the heck do I do and how do I
Mm,
respond? And so we will workshop exactly like what to say, or if they've got a difficult meeting coming up, or if they've just come out of a scenario where something, has happened and they don't feel good about it, then we'll replay it and help them, see how they could have maybe handled it better. Um, next time, like I had, one of our ladies, she's one of the head nurses in the hospital, and all of her seniors are men. So she sits in the room with all the men. She
mhm,
raised an issue about like patient turnover and some issues with timing.
mhm,
And one of the men just looked at her and said, "No, that's not true. That doesn't happen." And she just froze and wasn't really sure how to respond. And so she didn't navigate that meeting as well as she had hoped. So she came to us, she shared the issue, and I was like, bang, 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 do this, say this. Then she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And, she felt her power came back. And so next time, the next meeting, she was able to raise it and like really get through it and hold her power in it and get the outcome she wanted. So things like that.
mhm,
I've built an online course as well, so they get all the modules. It's my whole life's work in there. You know how it is.
mhm. Yes, I
Um,
do.
yes, and it's lifetime access, and so and I'm always updating things. Anytime I learn something new, I'll drop it in there. So, we have ladies that joined 5, 6 years ago, still have access. And you can choose to be part of the community for 3 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 3 years. You can just keep being part of the community however long you want. So yeah, that's the Attuned Woman online container. And
Mhm.
then I run retreats as well.
Yeah. I got to
Yes.
hear more about that because, that's how we connected.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the retreats are like the crescendo, right? It's like the real
Hmm.
deepening and the real visceral experience, but it's time out, right? Time
Yeah.
away. Turning off the devices. It's incredible how much the nervous system can reset just from one day of not having devices around you.
Yeah.
And yeah, coming back home, coming back to our body, the food, right? Nourishing with incredible food. And thanks to you, I found a private island,
I
not just
know.
not just any retreat venue, but a private island in Belize in Central America.
Yeah.
And it's a dream come true. It's the most beautiful,
So special.
yeah, beautiful location I've ever seen.
Mm,
And it's a week away. So traditionally my retreats are 3, 4 days, but because we're going like, off to Central America and the private island, I was like, no, I'm going to give my girls a few extra days and we
mm,
can, really enjoy it. So yeah, it is a week. It's yeah, 6 nights and there's a day where we'll take you out and see the land as well and do some of the beautiful local things. And that's like, I'm planning that to be the integration towards the end, one of the last
mm,
days retreat. And then the rest of the time we are going through that masculine and feminine process where the morning is yoga, beach, nourishing food, and then we come into workshops with me.
mhm,
And we spend a few hours doing that, and then we go into lunch, and then a few more workshops in the afternoon, and then dinner and the whole evening free. So it's really helping you get your nervous system into, oh, this is how we balance the
mhm,
masculine and the feminine. Um, and I say you learn about 1/3 of what is covered in the full Attuned Woman program if you were to come into the online container. We
mhm,
cover about 1/3 of the content, so you do get a really good chunk of information.
mhm,
And then yeah, usually most of the ladies will then continue on and get the full experience. We have some women who it doesn't matter whether you've done the program or in the program or not in the program. We have some women who um, are already in the program and then come to a retreat, or we've had some women who haven't done any of the program who come to retreat as well. So they can stand alone as well. Yeah, it
Okay. I was
doesn't
going to
really,
ask
yeah,
you.
you don't have to have that insight. But I am offering a package now where it includes the program and the retreat all inclusive. And we have private rooms or twin share rooms, and yeah, there's these one bungalows that sit over the water, like
I
in
know.
the
They're so
like
cute.
what's like in the Maldives, that kind of vibe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's so sweet, so
yeah,
special.
yes,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. And we get to practice yoga out on the shala on over the water. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for you and your group. And so, and yeah, so it sounds like you can drop in at any time with that experience, right? This could be your
Yeah,
introduction to you and the Attune
yeah,
women, or this
yeah.
could be the culmination at the end
Mhm.
of the
Yeah.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
or
beautiful.
part way through. It doesn't matter when they
Yeah.
come. And they can keep coming to the retreats every year. I've had women in our community come every year, and it's
Yeah.
funny because it is the same format every year. I don't change it, but you they get something new every single time,
Oh, yeah. It's like
right?
reading a book, right? Like you go
Yeah,
back and
yeah,
it's like, oh, I never noticed that line
yeah.
before. There's always something. It depends on where you're at. And I love this
Mm,
idea too with what you're saying is you can drop in anywhere because it's also you're teaching the same content, but it's always going to be different too, not
mm,
just how they receive it, but how it's created because you're going to
mm,
have people who have all different experiences and they're going to be different parts of the path on that journey that you've created.
mm,
And so there's going to be different layers and different depths that will be unique to that experience,
mm. Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can just come in whenever it suits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've made it for the busy woman because I get it. That's where what we're starting with. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was just thinking that for because you're working with powerful women who
Mm,
are busy, who are teaching
mm,
them not to be. And
mm,
what is it that you say? Like if somebody's listening to this right now and they're like,
mm,
oh yeah, that would be wonderful, but who has a
mm,
week to go away? Like what would you
mm,
say to them?
mm. Good question.
Let's
Um,
get rid of those
yeah.
objections right here, right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I talk about the busy bee syndrome,
hmm
um, that people are addicted to being busy.
hmm
And I usually give a gentle reminder that everything's a choice.
hmm
And so usually women come to me with these struggles and challenges and big goals that they want to achieve, and then try and drop the, oh, I'm too busy for that, line. And I'm like, well, which one do you want? Do you want to solve the problems and achieve your goals, or do you want to stay stuck in busy?
hmm
Everything's a choice. Busy, using the term busy is a disempowering word.
So true.
Yeah. So I always teach my women to delete that word from your vocabulary.
hmm
When you ask people, how are you going? I'm so busy. Oh my God, I'm so busy. Right. And then they wear it like a badge of honor. Right.
So true.
Being busy is a badge of honor. When people ask me,
Uh,
I'm like, not much. I'm pretty chill. How about you? And they're like, how?
yeah,
How?
busy is so
How,
overrated.
how is that your life? And I'm like, because everything's a choice.
hmm
How is that my life? Is because everything's a choice.
hmm
Yeah. So you can choose to fall into the busy trap and not achieve your goals and work through your issues, or put that down and choose you. Put yourself first.
So true. Oh my gosh. And I had a little phase where I was like, I even just want to stop using the word business because it's like
Oh, yeah.
busyness. Like, what could, was there's another word that I could embody because I don't want to
Right.
embody busyness.
Yeah. Vocation,
Yeah.
mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I end up using business because that's the lingo that everybody
Yeah.
uses. So if I were
Right.
like, oh, yes, the Nomad
Mm.
Collective is my vocation, yeah, that sounds
Yes.
a little weird.
Company's
Yeah,
better than
company I
business.
use sometimes. Yeah.
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 Because we're in company.
Yes, we're in company. True, true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, is there
Mm.
anything that I didn't ask you that you want to share today, Magida?
Not that I can think of. I think that was really beautiful. It was so great to chat, and yeah, I'm glad for people to get to know me. I don't really have many long form pieces of content out there. I do all my little
Mm.
30-second, 2 minute, things. So yeah, I just appreciate this container and this space and your time. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, thank you for your time and your genius and your gifts that you bring to the
Mm,
world. Yeah.
mm,
We're so happy you're here at the Nomad Collective and
mm,
we will share any links in the show notes that we referred to, like your retreat and your yeah, anything else that you want us to know about.
mm,
And I'm asking a question at the end of each episode because the podcast is called The Space in Between. And I'd love
mm,
to hear, what does the space in between mean for you right now in the season you're in?
mm. The space in between is where all the answers are. You just need to sit in it.
Mm,
Stop the busy.
stop the
Stop
busy.
the busy. Yeah, the space in between is where all the answers are.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Magita. It was such a joy to have you.
My pleasure, darling. Same, thank you. Mm.